Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Live at 4 on this Thursday. Brady Mallory is along today, filling in for Susan. Good to see you.
Hello. How's it going today?
It is going great. How about yourself?
Oh, pretty good.
We're both a little allergy-stricken today.
Yeah, it sounds like we've been hanging out in a bingo hall when you could smoke there.
Yes. All right. We'll have more on the weather coming up, but first we have information on why a Dane County Sheriff's deputy was fired after running to replace the current Dane County Sheriff.
Wildfire haze continues to hang over cities, threatening the health of millions of Americans. I'm Bradley Blackburn in New York with how people are coping and where the smoke is headed next.
And Mark makes a stop at Chalet Cheese Co-op, the cheese factory in Wisconsin that is making Limburger cheese.
The only one.
That'll be fun to see.
The whole country, as long as you don't have to smell it. Let's take a look outside. Not a bad day at all today. Nice cool start, but the sun was out. Bluer skies, not so much smoke, but still waiting for the rain, though. Julian's in the backyard to let us know if we're going to get any this weekend.
Well, that's the thing. We're going to be waiting for just a couple more days before we finally start to see that batch of rainfall. But you already hit the nail on the head. We are looking at a beautiful day on tap for our Thursday here in southern Wisconsin. 76 degrees for us here in Madison, 75 for Janesville, and 75 as well for Platteville. Really, the only 80 that's in southern Wisconsin as of right now is over towards Basketball as we're getting into the rest of this afternoon. Around Dane County, upper middle 70s, plenty of sunshine, a nice breeze. Overall, today is almost a picture-perfect day for us here in southern Wisconsin. As we look ahead, those blue skies, well, they're going to stay rather clear as we get into the rest of this evening. Looking at those temperatures, they'll fall from the 70s into about the upper 60s as we get into the later part of this evening, around 8 o'clock. And for tonight, we're going to be cooling down to a nice upper 40s for us here in Madison and for Janesville, and lower 50s for Platteville. But still, it's going to be a clear streak for us until we get into the weekend. That's what we're going to be watching for us to start to see, finally, some rain for us here in southern Wisconsin. It might not be overly widespread, but the showers themselves look to just begin Saturday afternoon and could even go into our Sunday afternoon as well. Otherwise, we're going to be looking at our traffic before we get into more details about the rain. We are looking at a bit of some slow spots on the eastbound side of the Beltline as of right now. So if you're going to be hitting the roadways, expect some delays, but we'll have more on the weather and traffic later on. Until then, over to you.
All right, Julian, thank you. Breaking today, we're learning that a detective who challenged Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett in last fall's election was fired from the department earlier this year.
Investigative reporter Naomi Coles got those records today. Naomi, how long after the election did this all happen?
Yeah, Barrett fired him in March. That was 4 months after Republican Anthony Hamilton lost to him in that race for county sheriff. Before that race, he had been put on administrative leave amid a very messy federal lawsuit and allegations of lying on both sides. Now, specifically, Barrett said in the termination letter I got that Hamilton was fired for making false statements in the media during his campaign, also for discussing open criminal cases and giving out information about confidential informants. Overall, Barrett said he lost the trust of the agency. Now, this came after Hamilton filed a federal lawsuit against the department, accusing them of illegal searches, falsifying records, and retaliating against him. That lawsuit was actually dismissed in federal court. That was just days ago, last week. Now, coming up in the next hour at 5 o'clock, I got a hold of Hamilton this morning to ask him about his firing. Tune in a bit later for that.
All right, Naomi, we'll see you at 5. Thank you. The weeks-long standoff over how to provide state aid to local governments, which threaten to upend the biennial budget process, appears to be over. Republican legislative leaders and Democratic Governor Tony Evers have reached a tentative deal. Lawmakers sent Evers their last best offer Wednesday night. That's according to a release from Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu's office. That offer included allowing Milwaukee city and county governments to raise a local sales tax themselves, avoiding a referendum vote.
At the Capitol this morning, Republicans introduced a bill geared toward helping raise reading scores in Wisconsin. The legislation would create an Office of Literacy in the Department of Public Instruction and pay for literacy coaches to work with students in some of the state's lowest performing schools. The bill's authors want to change fundamentally how reading is taught in Wisconsin schools. The lawmakers say they've started talking with universities about changing how reading is taught.
So that tells me that they're willing and they're aware that they need to make some changes on their end too when it comes to this, again, going back to the science of reading in this entire approach.
In all, the bill would cost $50 million, with $10 million going to fund the literacy coaches. The rest would help schools retool their curriculum Lawmakers are hoping to pass the bill quickly so they can get the funding added to the budget, which they are currently debating in the Capitol.
Reintroduced legislation previously sponsored by both of our United States senators aims to take the gray wolf off the endangered species list.
For one group fighting to protect wolves in Wisconsin, it says the bill dismisses the public support for their protection. Catherine Merck joins us to explain the conflict there.
According to a recent poll from the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, an overwhelming majority of people who responded to stronger protections for wolves. However, this proposed bill would take some of that away. The gray wolf is currently listed as endangered and threatened under the Endangered Species Act of 1973. The Friends of the Wisconsin Wolf and Wildlife Executive Director says that legislation is crucial for our state's wolf population to thrive.
We are going to fight delisting. And, the Endangered Species Act isn't perfect, but it's the only tool that we have to kind of protect wolves and to further the recovery here.
In a statement today, Senator Ron Johnson said, quote, control of the gray wolf population must be returned to state wildlife agencies who can best handle the recovered population. This legislation would do just that and provide relief for farmers, loggers, sportsmen, and others that are most impacted by the gray wolf. Senator Tammy Baldwin was the co-sponsor of the bill back in March 2022 before it was recently reintroduced.
Thank you, Catherine. Smoke from hundreds of out-of-control wildfires in Canada is still drifting into the U.S., forcing disruptions, cancellations, and unhealthy conditions from Maine to South Carolina.
Bradley Blackburn reports from New York.
You can barely see the Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C. as a smoky haze continues to engulf much of the Atlantic seaboard.
It's very important that affected communities listen to the guidance their state and local officials.
Forecasters say two separate weather systems are pushing the smoke south. Philadelphia is currently under an air quality alert, which means the air is considered unhealthy to breathe.
The health of our residents and workers is paramount. Philadelphia, please take good care of yourselves and look out for each other.
The smoke is coming from Canada, where more than 400 wildfires are burning, over half of them out of control. With the air so thick, U.S. health officials advise staying indoors as much as possible.
Well, not everyone has the opportunity to do that. If you've got to be outside, for some people wearing a mask can be helpful to help filter out some of the smoke around them.
Wildfire smoke is still clouding the view of Manhattan's skyscrapers, and New York's mayor has asked people to stay indoors. The city's parks are mostly empty, and so are playgrounds, even though school is out for a holiday.
Still having a good time.
The Farner family from Houston is making the most of their vacation despite the unexpected smoke.
It would be nice to get a clear view of the skyline, but now we can always say we were in New York when there was the haze, and other visitors can't say that, so at least we have a story.
And all this haze is making it tough on air travel. Poor visibility has forced the FAA to slow flights in the Northeast, causing hundreds of delays and some cancellations. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And the White House says since May, more than 600 U.S. firefighters, support personnel, and firefighting assets have been sent to help Canada fight wildfires.
President Biden says he spoke yesterday with Prime Minister Trudeau and offered any additional help Canada may need.
An official in Ukraine's Ministry of Defense says some of the country's forces have indeed gone from the defensive to the offensive, an admission that Ukraine has launched an initiative to retake land currently being held by Russian forces. Russia's military is reopening heavy fighting in the region that connects Russia to Crimea. President Biden and British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak talked about support for Ukraine during their meeting at the White House today.
Let no one doubt, U.S. leadership and resources are the decisive contribution allowing the forces of democracy and freedom to prevail.
We've done everything we could collectively, but individually in the United States, to make them ready.
The fighting has hampered efforts to rescue people from the flooding caused by this week's explosion at a dam. Ukraine's president, who toured the devastation, is calling for a faster international response to help the thousands impacted. Drones dropped bottles of drinking water to people stranded in their homes, while soldiers and volunteers worked around the clock to rescue those trapped by the floodwaters.
The UW Health Transplant Center has launched a pediatric heart transplant program at American Family Children's Hospital. The UW Health Transplant Center is one of just 6 centers in the nation and the only one in the Midwest that is actively transplanting the heart, kidney, liver, lung, and pancreas for adults and kids. The certification also allows the program at American Family Children's Hospital to begin using ventricular assist devices for children needing that level of support to either help their heart recover or allow the time needed to wait for a new heart. Well, there are more than 125 cheese factories in Wisconsin producing some 600 different specialty cheeses.
But there's only one producing Limburger cheese. The Chalet Cheese Co-op near Monroe is in fact the only cheese factory in the country producing the aromatic cheese. Limburger starts out like any other cheese. It's not until what master cheesemaker Jamie Farney calls a magic sauce is rubbed all over the cheese. It's literally the same cultures they started with back in 1885.
There's other companies that have the same bacteria, but they're more of like the European smear, where it's the dirty socks note. Ours is not like that anymore. Ours is more of a sweet note.
The proof, I guess, is in the Limburger. Some people love it, others hate it. And there doesn't seem to be much middle ground when it comes to Limburger cheese. We'll give it a taste test coming up tonight at 6. It's
look at
unique.
Yes, how was it?
It's unique.
Did the nose kind of linger?
Well, there's 3 different. There's a 2-month, a 4-month, and a 6-month. And the older it is, the stinkier it gets.
Okay.
And after 6 months, you got to throw it. At 7 months, you got to get rid of it.
That's just too much.
It turns into something else. We're all aware of the fentanyl drug crisis plaguing the country.
And now a different drug is showing up, and it has officials very concerned. We'll find out what that is when Live at 4 continues.
Ready to feel what it's like when you can do more with less asthma? It's possible with Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Are you in? Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Now what? You say it when things go wrong. At Prudential, we think you should say it when things go right, too. Like when you score your dream job, sell your business, or discover she's smart, really smart. Now what? Here's what. You connect with Prudential's rock-solid team serving over 50 million people with investment, insurance, and retirement know-how. Who's your rock? Visit Prudential.com or speak to an advisor today.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2023. Vote for the Best of Madison online today, including Fry Construction for Best Roofer, Windows and Doors, Kitchen and Bath Design, and Best Home Repair. Vote today for Fry Construction on MadisonMagazine.com.
Here's your parachute. Packed it myself.
Certain it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of congratulating coworkers or saying thank you for being a customer with promotional products from 4imprint. Our expert team is dedicated to making your satisfaction a certainty.
Packed it myself.
Land the perfect products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. Exact Sciences is proud to call Madison our home. We've been in this community for 14 years and are excited to continue to expand here. And one of the things we love about bringing candidates to Madison is showing off the vibrant community we have. And the organizations like the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra put on amazing events and bring that culture to Madison that makes us the vibrant place to live and work. Whether it's through volunteering, funding projects, or connecting on common causes, we play an active role in the community locally and globally.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2023. Vote for the Best of Madison online today, including Comfort Suites Cottage Grove for Best Hotel. Vote today for Comfort Suites Cottage Grove and all your favorites on MadisonMagazine.com.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
With the school year behind us, for many, teenagers are gearing up for their summer jobs.
In addition to earning some money, it's a good occasion for them to learn the basics of personal finance. Millions of high school students are starting summer jobs, a great opportunity for important personal financial lessons. Start by decoding the pay stub. Explain that FICA is not a person, but a way to fund Social Security and Medicare, and there's a big difference between gross and net pay. If it's a gig job, make sure that the young workers know that they're responsible for paying taxes, and they'll need to set aside some of their earnings to do that.
Even if your kids are under 18, a summer job is a good reason to open a bank account.
A parent, legal guardian, or a grandparent can establish a custodial bank account, which is a perfect time to explain core concepts like compound interest, FDIC insurance, electronic bill paying, and banking fees, including minimum balance and overdraft protection.
Do you remember your first summer job?
Yeah, I was in television.
Oh, here we go. And it's stuck.
I still am.
Well,
same pay.
Same. Well, first-time jobless claims last week jumped to the highest level since October of 2021. According to the data released today by the Labor Department, 261,000 unemployment claims were filed last week. That's an increase of 28,000 claims from the week before. It's also way more than economists were expecting. Weekly jobless claims have been going up recently, a hint of some softening in the U.S. labor market. However, first-time claims still remain below historical averages.
Stocks entered a new bull market. The Dow Industrials added 168 points, the NASDAQ up 133, and the S&P 500 officially entered a bull market today, climbing 26 points.
Well, fentanyl is the most common drug involved in deadly overdoses.
According to the CDC, 107,375 people in the U.S. died of drug overdoses and drug poisonings last year. 67% of those were due to fentanyl.
Well, the FDA recently approved another tool to fight that issue, but we're showing you how a different drug is showing up in overdose cases and why local leaders are worried.
The FDA's approval of over-the-counter Narcan is seen as a game changer in saving people from opioid overdose and fentanyl poisonings. But now there's a new curveball in the fight against addiction.
And there is a popular street drug now called xylazine that is being laced in many, many drugs and being put into drugs along with fentanyl. And Narcan will not work on that. And that is pretty alarming.
Xylazine, or tranq, is an animal sedative or tranquilizer and not an opioid.
It lowers your blood pressure. It stops your body's natural ability to gasp when you need air. So while Narcan can reverse that opioid and kick those the opioid off your opioid receptors, it's not going to restore your blood pressure to a normal level.
Xylazine not only increases the risk of fatal drug poisoning, but it can cause other health problems, including ulcers and wounds. This year, the White House declared drugs laced with fentanyl and xylazine as an emerging threat in the U.S. The DEA says between 2020 and 2021, xylazine-positive overdose deaths increased, including by more than 500% in the Midwest.
I think the vast majority of people don't even know that it is in the drugs that they have. And a lot of times, even the dealers that are dealing the drug won't even know that it is in there.
Here in Dane County, we saw 9 xylazine-related deaths in 2021. So far, there were 5 in 2022, but 70 other overdose deaths are still awaiting toxicology results. So Olson expects the number of xylazine-related deaths to grow.
It's not something you can tell just by looking at a drug. There are newly created xylazine test strips, but we don't have them available yet in Dane County.
If Narcan doesn't reverse xylazine, what can we do to fight it?
I think the biggest thing right now is public education, letting everybody know the dangers that are associated with this.
When it comes to fighting addiction, Kennecke, who founded Emily's Hope, a foundation that promotes addiction education and resources for treatment and recovery, says we need better access to more recovery programs.
They need to be able to get medically assisted treatment, and we just have to work more to keep people alive.
It really does touch everyone. And it's something that I think we need to have more conversations about so we can embrace people who are using drugs to try to help them live safe, healthy lives versus feeling like they're always being shunned or looked down upon.
That's scary. Olson says if you see anyone in active overdose, call EMS and administer Narcan.
And then if it appears that that person is having respiratory complications indicative of xylazine poisoning, she says start giving rescue breaths while you wait for first responders.
Every second counts at that point.
And police have told me that at this point, people should just assume that any type of drug that they are buying from the streets could be laced with fentanyl or xylazine now in this case. So
yeah, it's pretty common, it seems. Well, still to come at 4, it's a story of heroism and survival.
We'll hear from one of the residents trapped and rescued from the apartment building that collapsed in Davenport, Iowa. That's coming up right after Julian's first warn forecast.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
At USA Insulation, we fix hot homes. Over 7 out of 10 homes are poorly insulated. Is yours? Here are some of the signs. Is your house too cold in the winter? Is it too hot in the summer? Does your furnace and AC run almost non-stop? Do you have different temperatures in different rooms? Are your energy bills too high? You don't need a new home. You need better insulation. And right now, when we foam your walls, we'll insulate your attic for free.
USA Insulation.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Attention, Wisconsin veterans.
I'm Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin. If you are a veteran struggling to pay for rent, utilities, or other life-sustaining services, I want you to know that the Veterans Rental Assistance Program is here to help. So call 833-WISC-VRAP or visit vrapwi.com. You've always been there for us. We want you to know that we're here for you.
Here's your parachute.
Certain it's okay? Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, so congratulate coworkers or say thank you with promotional products from 4imprint.com.
For imprint, for certain.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2023. Vote for the Best of Madison online today, including Academy of Little Vikings for Best Child Care. Vote today for Academy of Little Vikings and all your favorites on MadisonMagazine.com.
The day you get your Clear Choice dental implants makes every day a let's dig in day, a chow down day, a take a big bite day, a perfectly delicious day, a love my new teeth day. Because your Clear Choice day is the day everything is back on the menu. A Clear Choice day changes every day. Schedule a free consultation.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
We'll take a look at this. State police in Indiana just released video from a wild high-speed chase with a stolen school bus. It started in Cincinnati, Ohio, where authorities say the suspect stole the bus and led state police on a nearly hour-long chase into Indiana, colliding with pursuing vehicles and eventually taking the bus, the yellow fellow, off the road, way off-road. The chase ran for nearly 80 miles before ending in a field when the bus burglar was busted and taken to jail.
I feel like that's not an effective getaway vehicle.
Not the most maneuverable.
No, are they filming Speed 3 in there?
Fortunately, there are no kids.
Yeah,
absolutely. Why would you even want a bus wet?
I don't know.
Interesting. Oh, well.
People are funny.
That's an understatement about these days.
But the weather's not funny. It's just perfect.
Yeah. It is just perfect. That's right. How long will it stay perfect? That's a great question, and we'll have the answer for it after the first one forecast after the break.
Brand new Metro Transit routes and schedules start Sunday, June 11th. Less transferring, easier to use. Visit mymetrobus.com or call 608-266-4466 to plan your trip and look for ride guides out on the streets.
At Foster Funeral and Cremation Services, we honor legacies. Let us take care of the arrangement so you can focus on saying goodbye. Veteran-owned and operated. Experience exceptional care and affordable service with Foster Funeral and Cremation Services.
Your heart is the beat of life. If you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor if Entresto is right for you.
The story of Scott the Window Guy starts with the crack of a bat and a broken window. Little did I know, Mom actually wanted her windows replaced. I'm Scott the Window Guy from AHT Wisconsin Windows. For the past 50 years, we've been replacing windows in Wisconsin with a 50-year warranty and a 10-year glass breakage guarantee to protect you
from kids like me.
Get a free, no-obligation estimate and $225 off per window at scottthewindowguy.com.
Stanley Steamer loves Madison, Wisconsin. I'm Paul Ashik, local owner of Stanley Steamer here in Madison. We've been proudly cleaning your homes and businesses for over 30 years and will continue to keep your carpet, upholstery, area rugs, hard floors, and air ducts clean for many more. We strive to provide the best quality in both the services we provide and the equipment we use. That's why you've trusted us to keep Madison and southwestern Wisconsin homes cleaner, healthier, and more beautiful place to live. Call and book a cleaning today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Want to work out for free? This summer at Anytime Fitness, you can get up to 3 months free. Get more for your membership than just machines with 24/7 access and a community of support. Hurry! The earlier you join, the more you save. Stop into Anytime Fitness now and get the summer free.
Brand new Metro Transit routes and schedules start Sunday, June 11th. Less transferring, easier to use. Visit mymetrobus.com or call 608-266-4466 to plan your trip and look for ride guides out on the streets.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
A picture-perfect day for southern Wisconsin as we've had blue skies and very comfortable conditions throughout much of the day. Well, we are looking for some changes as we get into the rest of this work week and heading into the weekend. We're back to 80s by the time we get into Friday, and then we are going to be watching for some developments of showers heading into our Saturday afternoon, evening hours, and especially heading into our Sunday as well. Now, there are some areas that are not going to be seeing too much in terms of rainfall, but then one other thing we're watching for is cooling down into the 60s heading into our Sunday and also for our Monday of next week. So as we get right into the forecast of what we're expecting for pretty much this weekend in itself, we're going to watch through the future track, how things are going to be changing for us. Overnight temperatures are going to fall into the upper 40s, so it's going to be still comfortable for our overnight hours going into our Friday morning. Temperatures as we head out the door, mid-50s, plenty of sunshine. However, cloud cover will start to build a bit as we get into about our afternoon, starting in from the northwest. And that's what we're going to be watching for that system to really start to develop. But throughout the course of our Friday, it's going to be rather quiet, so we're not expecting much in terms of any real precipitation, but lower 80s will stick around through our afternoon. Going into Friday nights, it's going to be a bit milder. Temperatures into the upper 50s, lower 60s for many areas. And as we start off our Saturday morning, still rather quiet. Now, we do have the golf tournament and the walk, the pink walk this weekend. So if you're planning on participating in any of that, don't expect much in terms of showers until we get into the afternoon. So we're going to be fine for the walk, but as we get into around Saturday afternoon, evening hours, we are going to be watching for a couple of showers starting to develop. Potentially even some thunderstorms as well. Going into our Saturday nights, it's going to start to fizzle out a bit, but in early Sunday morning around 3 o'clock, we can start to see another line of that system starting to develop and move its way throughout much of southern Wisconsin by the time we get into our early Sunday morning. Now, otherwise, we're looking for potentially a quarter to a half an inch around Madison, but areas to the north and east will be looking for the half to even 3/4 of an inch of rainfall, but to the south and west, so this will be from Prairie du Chien, Platteville, maybe a tenth of an inch, but overall not looking for a very sufficient amount of rainfall. But still, you can see pretty decent amounts of rain throughout southern Wisconsin from this weekend in itself. Now, one thing we're going to be watching for is our weekend forecast. We're really going to be dropping 84 degrees for Saturday, but then Sunday, we're getting to around 65 degrees with some early morning showers. Now, taking a look at tonight's in itself, again, it's going to be rather clear, 47 degrees. And as we get into tomorrow, we're going to see those temperatures climb right back up into the lower 80s, sunshine, and then we're having our best opportunities for any kind of precipitation heading into our Saturday afternoon, early Sunday, and potentially going into our Monday. Another burst of some showers are possible before we dry out for Tuesday, and then warm back up for Wednesday, Thursday, and then next week, holding on to the 80s right on time for Father's Day. Plenty of sunshine. Might see one more little opportunity of some showers or thunderstorms. But overall, we're still looking for not a whole lot of sufficient rain, even though we kind of need it.
Take what we can get.
Absolutely.
That grass is getting sharp.
It's a little crispy.
And a little brown, too.
Yeah,
Oof.
absolutely. All right, Julian, thank you. Well, in Iowa, a woman who got trapped under her collapsed apartment building says she did not hesitate when first responders said they needed to amputate her leg on site.
She spoke with Omar Jimenez about her harrowing experience 2 weeks ago, and she and her wife are suing the city of Davenport and the building's owner, accusing them of negligence, citing a city inspection that was not up to code.
You don't see yourself as a victim?
No, I'm a survivor. I fought my way like hell to get through that day.
What were you doing that day when all of a sudden, I mean, everything changed?
It was a normal day for us. It was like a crack in the window. Then it continued within the same minutes. We've seen another one, and I'm like, ooh, maybe something is a little, I'm a little nervous. I got a little nervous. I said, something's wrong.
We both were at the door. We each had a cat in our hands, and I reached to grab the door.
Like, imagine hearing a building get tore down. That's how it sounded when it just, everything just fell. Everything just fell, and I fell.
While help got to the scene quickly, they couldn't get Peach out for at least 6 hours.
What were you thinking when all of a sudden, I mean, hours were going by and you still were trapped?
I have to make it for her, especially. I have to survive this. I have to be able to tell this story. I got these metal pipes of water, gallons of water just pouring on me. I'm just soaking wet with metal pieces everywhere. And I was taking pieces of the floor, anything I could find around me, like covering my head so that I didn't drown. In my mind, I'm just like, how could I be trapped under so much? They were digging me out for hours and hours and hours, to the point where they had to cut my foot on the scene.
Her doctor says he amputated her leg on the scene.
There was nothing to think about. I wanted to live. I didn't want to be trapped. I didn't want to be, I didn't want more debris to fall on me because it was already hard enough. And to be honest, I didn't want the firefighters to have to be trapped or beaten down or bruised with anything. Like, I wanted everyone to make it out of there alive. And with no hesitation, amputate what you have to do. Do what you have to do to get me out of here.
What do you think when you look down there?
Babylon.
On the scene, a red dress marks where their apartment once stood. An apartment building where just days before the collapse, inspectors noticed a brick surface had separated from an interior wall and appeared ready to fall imminently, according to a letter addressed to whom it may concern from an engineer dated May 24th.
You know how they knew about it? They were told time and time again.
It's why Peach and Lexus Berry are suing, alleging the warning signs were known much earlier than a few days prior.
The family wants the owners of the building, the engineers, the contractors, held responsible for this tragic and 100% preventable event.
But not everything can be recovered in a courtroom.
When I closed my eyes, I heard the cracking again. I heard the falling, the dropping again. It's like, is it going to happen again? Like, am I safe in the building I'm in?
What did this take from you?
I don't think it really took anything from me, because you can't take my peace. You can't take my hope. You can't take my power. This is just another stepping stone to my story.
3 men did die in that accident.
A spokesperson for an owner of the building said they are devastated and their hearts go out to everyone involved, displaced, injured, and of course those who died.
And the city says they can't comment on pending litigation. Well, coming up next here on Live at 4, we meet a one-man band with a very special harmonica.
And then at 5, the 2024 Big Ten football matchups were announced this afternoon. We'll show you what the Badger schedule looks like this year.
FlexSteel is furniture that comforts, furniture for living, furniture with a heart of steel. Save big during our FlexSteel authorized sale, going on now at Waunakee Furniture, ETC.
There's lots of grown-up fun in the water park capital of the world, but where? Well, where tasty drinks meet relaxing pools. That's where all the action is. Where the rubber meets the road and then meets the water. Water parks, they're here, there, and everywhere. Now, where was I? Probably somewhere like here. Ooh, nice glassware. Hungry? There's plenty more where that came from. Where do we go from here? Well, just about anywhere. Wisconsin Dells, where it's at. Plan your grown-up getaway at WISC-TV.com.
You got me.
Tag, you're it.
Imagine a world with no drama. With 4imprint, you don't have to chase down the perfect promotional products. Exclusive apparel, bags, drinkware, and more. 4imprint will help you capture the moment and guarantee to deliver your order on time and on budget. Take the drama out of ordering promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily, Jardiance. At each day start. As time went on, it was easy to see. I'm lowering my A1C.
Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too. Jardiance may cause serious side effects, including ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with the big story to tell.
FlexSteel is furniture that comforts, furniture for living, furniture with a heart of steel. Save big during our FlexSteel authorized sale, going on now at Waunakee Furniture, ETC.
Tonight at 5, News 3 Now investigates the firing of former Dane County Sheriff candidate Anthony Hamilton. We dig through all the records to find the truth.
We need some rain, but we won't get it until Saturday afternoon at the earliest. Showers are in the forecast for Sunday and again possibly Monday afternoon, but will be enough for our lawns. At 5, I'll let you know how much rain we can expect.
And ahead at 6, an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the only Limburger cheese plant in the country. Mark Kane travels to Ground Zero to see what all the stink is about. That's tonight at 6.
Giving the weather satellite a spin, we end up in downtown L.A., which is usually all smoggy and foggy, and
you can actually see
clear skies.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Not everyone has that luxury.
71 degrees.
All right. Well, a lot of kids like to play a harmonica, but what happens when those kids grow up?
We found a retired Beloit man who's still playing a harmonica with a twist. Here's this week's Traveler Throwback Thursday from June of 1983.
David Ayers of Beloit has played a harmonica since he was a kid. But the harmonica never seemed to be enough. He wanted to be able to play the guitar at the same time. So he sat down in his basement workshop. He fiddled and tinkered. He used his experience as an engineer at the Beloit Corporation. Until finally, David Ayers came up with an invention. When you and I were young, Maggie, never sounded the same again. David has come up with the harmonica synthesizer. He's rigged it up so he can play the guitar and play the harmonica at the same time. Another machine adds the rhythm. David is his own one-man band.
When people see that phrase one-man band, they think of a guy with a harness over his shoulder and he's playing turkey in a straw and he's got a couple of cymbals tied to his knees and banging them together, you know.
David likes to think of himself as a little more than that, though. There aren't many one-man bands around playing Judy Garland hits.
I've never had any formal music training at all. I just probably should have. I would avoid a lot of mistakes. And since I retired, I've learned to read music a little bit, and I can pick out a new tune on a guitar. And once I get familiar with it, then I get the harmonica out and work it up.
David's harmonica doesn't sound anything like a harmonica. That's not the point, he says. He's trying to expand the sound. The blowing and drawing on the mouthpiece activates switches, and that activates the machine. It took a while for David to perfect his instrument. Casualties of his research littered drawers and countertops. But now David thinks he's found the right music-making formula. For right now, David doesn't have any plans to market his invention. For right now, he says he's happy just to play his music, just to be a modern...
A modern what?
One-man band.
I think we had... Hold on.
You left us in suspense for how many years now? We finally answered.
Yeah, talented guy.
Yeah, that was really cool.
All right, well, it's time to get your medical questions answered.
Dr. Zorba Pastor is standing by waiting to take your calls. The number is 608-270-9933, and we will get to your calls right after these fine words from our sponsors.
Postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer are living longer with Kisqali. So long live family time. Long live dreams. And long live you. Kisqali is a pill proven to help women live longer when taken with an aromatase inhibitor. And Kisqali helps preserve quality of life, so you're not just living, you're living well. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Long live hugs and kisses. Ask about Kisqali, and long live life.
Tomorrow is more than just the day ahead. Tomorrow is putting in the energy every single day. We're investing another $4 billion in renewables and low-carbon solutions through 2025. And modernizing our energy infrastructure to lower our emissions, bridging to a sustainable energy future.
Have you ever been challenged, been tried, made a pact with your own limits? Have you been here, there, places no one should go? If you have, then you know that whatever you're capable of, so are we. No wonder Ford SUVs lead in brand loyalty. Now get a new Ford Edge with 0% APR financing for 36 months, only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
We've been cooking up this kitchen design for a while.
So it's going to be perfect.
Okay, that pattern works.
Wow, this whole look works.
And at a price that really works.
I think our work here is done.
At Floor & Decor, our helpful associates and free design services add to your experience, not your expenses. And with an unmatched selection of high-quality products, all at everyday low prices, creating the kitchen to match your taste has never been easier. Discover Floor & Decor today.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because when you feel totally protected, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. Save up to 27% when you bundle home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
The slow spots we were tracking on our traffic along the belt line are still there because we do have a disabled vehicle on the belt line as of right now, mainly on the ramp between Fish Hatchery, which has slowed down the pace. If you were going to be heading eastbound as of right now, just note that you're going to be expecting some delays over at least the next 20 minutes. Now, as we take a look over towards Monona Drive, well, we are still looking for a bit of some slow spots, especially on Highway 51, but the interstate in itself of 39 isn't looking too bad in terms of how the traffic is flowing from north and southbound as of right now. So again, if you're going to be traveling eastbound on the belt line, expect some delays as we get closer to the 5 p.m. rush hour. That's going to do it for our traffic. Over to you.
Julian, thank you. Sotheby's auction has broken records in the world of gemstones, with 2 stones selling for more than $30 million in the same sale. A ruby dubbed Australia de Fura, weighing in at 55.22 carats, sold for $34.8 million. Not to be outdone, shortly after, the ruby set the record. A pink diamond, known as the Eternal Pink, also sold for $34.8 million, setting a record for a diamond of this color and grade.
Practically a steal.
So, Zorba, can we see the diamond?
That's right.
Wasn't you? Okay. Canadian wildfires, they continue to cause smoke to drift across the U.S., causing some real air quality problems in some cities.
Dr. Zorba Pastor is here today to talk about that, and he's also taking your calls at 608-270-9933.
Hi, Zorba. So who's at risk from this smoke?
Well, people with COPD are at risk. People with severe heart failure are at risk too. And even though we're not as bad as New York and Washington, D.C. and others, there still is a smoke quality alert. So I think if you're going to go outside, you're at risk. What you want to do is go back to the mask. The N95 mask is still a really good mask. And when it comes to exercise, if you've got significant heart disease or lung problems, this is not the time to go outside and exercise. You know, just some generally good things to do. And really, it's real stuff. It's really there, especially on the East Coast. But believe it or not, that particulate matter is here, too.
Okay, so if you're going out, mask up.
Right, mask up.
Here we go
That's
again.
right.
All right, let's get to the phones. We'll start with Jim in Reedsburg. Hi, Jim. What's your question?
Hi, I have glaucoma, and I've read a couple of articles that said I should be careful about exercising or what type of exercises I should do because it could increase the pressure in the eye.
Sure.
Can you comment on that?
Sure. Well, first of all, when we look at pressure in the eye, one of the things you want to do is have a good relationship with your ophthalmologist because you want to make sure those pressures are down. But the type of exercise that might increase the pressure is weightlifting exercise where you're doing something called the Valsalva. That's where you have a heavy weight and you're going, and you're increasing the rate, your intrathoracic rate, which also increases basically the pressure in your chest and may increase the pressure in your eye. But when it comes to exercise, cardiovascular exercise, strengthening without that much, that can make a difference. I mean, that can be good for you and not make a difference in your eye pressure.
So no heavy lifting?
No really heavy lifting, right.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, we have John from Lake Mills. John, what's your question?
Hi, Dr. Zorba. Can you give me a recommendation for a nasal spray for nasal congestion that's not likely to cause a rebound effect?
Absolutely. Stay away from Afrin and all the Afrin products. If you don't know if a generic is an Afrin product, if it doesn't say equivalent to Afrin or Neosynephrine, talk to the pharmacist. The steroid nasal sprays, such as Flonase, they are dynamite. They work really, really well. They take 1 or 2 days to kick in, and if you stop using them, they stay around for 1 or 2 days. They are far better for sinus infections. They are safe, effective, and frankly, they're great because now they're over the counter. You don't need to see a doctor, get a doctor's appointment, and have to pay that copay.
Because of the over-the-counter stuff, that can get very addictive.
It can be addictive, so that if you don't spray on a particular day, you're actually going to have a nasal congestion. You can use this for 1 or 2 days, but not on a regular basis at all. But once again, the Flonase, fluticasone, steroid nasal sprays, they are safe to use.
They're a little pricey.
They are a little pricey, that's right. But I mean, they're also by prescription. So if you've got a drug card, talk to your doctor and see about whether or not it's cheaper. And also go to goodrx.com. That's goodrx.com. And often you can get a coupon that makes them much cheaper at certain pharmacies. I'm a real believer in goodrx.com when it comes to discounted prescriptions that you have to pay for.
And that's free.
And that's free.
There's a premium too, but here's a free version.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to Don in Madison. Hi, Don. What's your question?
Yeah, I've got the COPD and pulmonary hypertension on my lungs, and I've been out a lot the last few days. I mean, I noticed a difference of the air quality, but I've had to get out. I won't go into the whole thing, but I need to be out and about. I haven't been wearing a mask. I haven't been wearing my oxygen because I have to do this for my granddaughter.
But if you want to
wondering how much damage am I doing?
Right. If you want to be safe, what you want to do is wear a mask if that's possible. And if not, you want to make sure that you go outside as minimally as possible. Are you doing damage? It's really effective how much oxygen you're getting into your lungs right now and whether or not that's dangerous for you. We are not in a high alert, but we're not in a zero alert. And you have to kind of figure that out. Once again, you have a question, you have severe COPD, talk to your doctor.
I mean, that's somebody that probably is going to be affected by this
Absolutely.
more than others.
Right.
And wear a mask?
Right, wear a mask, exactly. And an N95 is the best thing to wear with this because that's the stuff that's going to get rid of those particles that are really bad for you.
And the National Weather Service puts out the air quality alerts when they're bad.
Right.
And you should, they're saying even if it's really bad, you should recirculate your air conditioner.
Right, exactly. Well, air conditioners usually have something on them. In their house, a lot of people have air filters that can make a difference too. And it's really important to pay attention to those air quality alerts and also cool that air down, especially if you have COPD. More people died in Chicago a number of years ago, not from the cold, but from the heat. So when it's hot and it's bad air quality, it's the time to stay indoors, pump up the air conditioner, and not move around very much.
Heat is the #1 killer of weather-related.
Yes, that's right, weather-related. It's heat. It's not cold. We think it's cold. We think we're going to go outside and we're going to die.
Or lightning.
It's heat. It's heat that does it.
All right. Well, we're out of time. Thank you all for calling in. Zorba, good to see you.
Good to be here.
See you next week. And we'll have you final check your forecast coming up.
To everyone who appreciates a handcrafted meal, are you ready for a taste of Wisconsin?
Butterburgers cooked fresh, just the way you like.
The way you love.
Definitely love.
And our thick and creamy frozen custard, we make it for you all throughout the day. All day.
All day, every day. Put it in the extra work and not cutting corners. Takes a little longer.
But it's how we've always done it at Culver's. Because making your meal with care shows how much we care.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
You got me.
Tag. You're it.
Imagine a world with no drama. For the guarantee of high-quality promotional items delivered on time, go to 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2023. Vote for the Best of Madison online today, including dwellings, for best furniture, home accessories, and best interior design. Vote for all your favorites on MadisonMagazine.com.
Salonpas Lidocaine Flex, a super thin, flexible patch with maximum OTC strength lidocaine that contours to the body to relieve pain right where it hurts. And did we mention it really, really sticks? Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Fry Construction is celebrating 28 years with a big anniversary sale. Join us to save 28%. That's right, 28%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 3 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Act now for 28% off gutters or insulation with any full roofing project. Schedule your free consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Breaking news tonight, Wisconsin lawmakers strike a deal to give more funding to local government. Will Keneally will have all the details. And former Dane County Sheriff candidate Anthony Hamilton has been fired. News 3 now investigates tonight at 5.
You can smell it long before you see it. A little pungent in here. Oh my gosh. Yep, there's nothing like Limburger, and there's only one place in the country that makes it. Come along as I travel to Ground Zero to take in the smell of success tonight at 6. Oh.
Closing things out with the 3 things to know. Well, we're going to be expecting temperatures to be back in the 80s by the time we get into tomorrow. Heading into this weekend, though, folks, even though it's not going to be a washout, you may want to have the rain jacket nearby. We are looking for some showers to start off our Saturday afternoon and into our Sunday as well. Heading into next week, though, temperatures look to fall into the 60s to at least start off our new work week. Until we get there, though, we're going to be seeing temperatures climb into the 80s for next week and even for Father's Day as of right now.
All right. Thank you, Julian. Tomorrow here on Live Before, our news hounds have the top animal stories of the week.
And we'll have live reports from the AmFam Insurance Championship Golf Tournament at University Ridge here in Madison.
There's nothing better than a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhafels. The new Tempur-Pedic Breeze is made with a one-of-a-kind cooling technology, pulling heat away from your body, keeping you up to 10 degrees cooler, allowing for a better night's sleep. Right now, Tempur-Pedic Queen mattresses start at only $96 per month. Plus, you get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Steinhafels, your mattress destination. Shop in-store or online.
If you have heart disease and are on a statin, lowering cholesterol can be hard. And diets and exercise add to the struggle. It can feel never-ending. But today, it's possible to go from struggle to cholesterol success with Leqvio. Taken with a statin, Leqvio is proven to lower bad cholesterol by over 50%. So if you feel like you're getting nowhere, go with 2 doses a year of Leqvio and keep bad cholesterol low. Common side effects were injection site reaction, joint pain, urinary tract infection, diarrhea, chest cold, pain in legs or arms, and shortness of breath. When you're ready to go from struggle to cholesterol success, talk to your doctor about twice-yearly Leqvio to help you lower your cholesterol. Lower, longer, Leqvio.
Here's your parachute.
Packed it myself.
Certain it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of congratulating coworkers or saying thank you for being a customer with promotional products from 4imprint. Our expert team is dedicated to making your satisfaction a certainty.
Packed it myself.
Land the perfect products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
No matter the trade, Masterforce has the tools to complete your next project. Whether you're making repairs or installing a new upgrade, we have the tool for you. Load up your toolbox and get rolling with Masterforce. Get your choice of this 7¼ inch circular saw blade or this 2-pack of quick change utility knives for just $5.95 after rebate. Or grab this 8-piece set of magnetic screwdrivers for $14.99 after 11% rebate.
In today's Final Touch, further proof that crime doesn't pay.
Or in this case, doesn't even pan out. A man was caught on camera giving up an attempt to take a 12-pack of drinks when a locked door foiled his plan at a liquor store in a suburb of Perth, Western Australia. Footage from the Bottle O Bleacher Boro, that's a liquor store chain down under, shows the man walk toward the cashier before making a sudden dash for the exit. He was unable to open the door. He returns the drinks to the counter and leaves. The store posted the security footage asking if anyone could identify the man. The staff member, Kelly Gordon, says the man didn't seem too aggressive, so she wasn't too concerned. Bottle O Beachboro says they installed the automatic locking doors as a theft deterrent. It works.
So, didn't think that one through. Did he? Maybe there was a bus out there waiting for him.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that didn't work out. Anyway, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.